Greetings from this side of the pond. The good side. Nah, I know your video wasn't really like a serious, like real insulting on America or anything like that. I totally understand. You Slaxer are way too smart to antagonize America. Seriously, we know this. But I'm putting this video out for everybody else who doesn't know quite yet that America is the number one greatest nation in the world. Anyways, yeah, I had to do that, man. Um, we are. Point blank, absolute, we're the youngest, well, maybe not the youngest, I guess, like Israel and stuff are younger. But we do youngest best, so we're still the youngest, even though those other ones are younger, because we said so. You see how that works? I mean, if you need to know anything about America, just assume that we are number one. See, that's easy for you guys to remember. Uh, I know that Europeans have issues with math because I just made that up. But I'm American, so I can make stuff up and then I can add some kind of number to it, like 3,942.6, and that makes it true. You see? See how that works? You can't do that in like France or Britain or Scandinavia or Mars or whatever, the heck you guys are. You know? If you need verification to any of my facts, my AmeriFacts, okay, you can always go to your local American university. That would be the one right between the Starbucks and the McDonald's, which we also put there in everybody else's country. So that way, there's some semblance of American common sense that, like, you guys can go and run to find out how to deal with us in the way that, everybody in the world should be dealt with, which is by American standards. Because again, we said so, and we've got Abrams M1 tanks, and we'll go step on you with them if you disagree. So stiffoo on that, right? So that said, do remember though that not all Americans are Texans. Not all of them are. Not all of us are. Like George W. Bush Jr. and all that. That was actually kind of embarrassment, even for a lot of Texans. But there are a lot of different types of Americans. For example, there's Mormons. Uh, there's the American Indians that you talked about, and yeah, and we told them that we were going to give them a really great deal for screwing them over like we did, and then they got casinos, and we never actually came through on that really good deal, but we don't have to come through on that really good deal. All we have to do is say we're going to give them that really good deal. Like, remember those 40 acres and a mule? Well, maybe you don't. Well, black Americans might remember that. Actually, they wouldn't because none of them actually ever got it. But that's what America is, baby. Entrepreneurism. You don't like the train? You can get on a welfare boat. That's right. Get on a welfare boat there with like the other 40% of Americans who are being un-American about stuff, and Canada, and I'm just kidding. I really like Canada. They make for great neighbors. They do. It's the most French British people I've ever seen in neither France nor Britain. They are weird, but they're okay by me as long as they continue to do what America tells them to do. See how that goes? It's right. um, but yeah, we are kind of cocky, conceited. Um, and I think a lot of that has really come because of the military victories, I guess, that we have won in the last like 230 some odd years. Nowadays, we finally moved up in weight class, and now we're fighting wars against not other nations, but against ideas like terror. I want to go to war against awkwardness myself, but I was outvoted and decided to go against the war against terror. So, that's how democracy works in a republic. Because we're all like that. Anyways, Britain can't talk shit about that, anyways, because you guys got a democratic monarchy. What the fuck is that, dude? I mean, no disrespect for the Queen, because I haven't met her, so I don't know her well enough to, like, make fun of her that much. Just a little. here in America, we got the freedom to do that. Oh. But um, I forgot what I was talking about. I think I forgot what I was talking about because of the mad amount of strong drugs that are available to everybody here in America. Again, you don't have that. You may think that that's a bad or that that's a good thing. You don't have that, but if you had had access to them, then you would be like, you know what, this is pretty awesome. So I mean, that's another thing. So yeah, I mean, America. Well, I don't know. I mean, we were talking about American victories and war and battle, and up until about World or Vietnam War, yeah, it was mismanaged by politicians. You know what, Britain, you guys have seen the same thing. Politicians losing battles that generals should have won. It happens. um, I guess the only way you could really change that is by revolution, but we're not going to go there. I know you guys are still sore about that. Even though I think we made up for it by letting Germany bomb the living shit out of London for like 2 years before we finally stepped in after we were attacked by Japan. Which makes me wonder, why did Japan side with a bunch of white supremacists? You see the kind of nonsense that goes on outside of America? Jeez. But yeah, I think that America is the modern day Roman Empire. And my biggest issue with it is the fact that they're not honest with anybody about it. Whether it's other nations, whether it's enemy insurgents, whether it's its own voters, its own people, citizens. That's the word I was looking for. It's just not. They're not honest about it. Say, for example, this Iraq thing. If they just said, "Hey, Iraq has a bunch of oil, which means a bunch of money and strategical advantage. We're gonna go over there, make it a 51st state," I'm down. Just go do this shit. But then they're like, oh, humanitarian efforts and to save the people and rebuild the infrastructure, etc., etc. I don't give a shit about that. If it does not include more glory for me personally, then I don't really care about it. And from a patriotic standpoint. Now, you speak about patriotism, and yeah, I don't know if would consider myself a patriot or not. I mean, I like this nation. And I think any patriotism I have comes from a loyalty to the land, its laws, and its people, most of its laws, and a few less of its people, because it's provided me with everything that I could need and a lot of stuff that I want. If I don't have fresh food, clean water, or some kind of home over my head, then that's a situation which is abnormal. And there's typically a person I can call about that. Now, I know countries like France and Britain, mostly that's like that too, but you start looking at like, uh, Ethiopia and stuff, and suddenly, it makes me appreciate my PlayStation here in my living room in Utah a lot more. So, I don't know. I guess that's about it. I think I rambled on a little, about as long as Slaxer did here. You know what? I'm just going to go that extra minute, man, to show that we put more forth being American. I have to put that extra minute out there for you. Because I could just go on, but actually, I really don't think I can go on and on. So, yeah, alright. I guess that's it. Good luck with your tiny island. When you guys want, go ahead and apply for statehood, and we'll probably let you in if you pay enough. But it'd have to be in U.S. dollar because the euro's gonna drop, bro. Seriously, you guys don't know how to do money. Americans know how to do money, man. Seriously, you don't see no bank of. Well, I don't know. I ain't got time. Anyways, take this all as a joke because that's just what it is. Really not that serious about anything. Just spitting it back at you two-way. Peace. One world, y'all.